On Morning Live, it's good to have you with us. Now, that story that everybody's talking about this morning, the Education Department has rejected the findings of a World Economic Forum global report on information technology, which suggests that South Africa's mathematics and science education is ranked as the worst in the world. The Department of Education says the World Economic Forum report is unfortunate, not credible or accurate reflection of the state of education in South Africa. The Department of Education's Elijah Mhlanga is here with us to tell us more about this particular story. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's start off. Why are you disputing the findings?
Well, because it's a perception index. It's not a report that was compiled as a result of research or a survey. It is how some people feel about the quality of education, and they didn't take the trouble of doing some kind of research to establish the facts about the quality of our education.
Yeah, but don't perceptions concern you?
They do, because they mislead the public. They don't take into account the improvements that we've made in the system. They don't take into account the research work that has been done by international research, some regional research, and also our own research that we've done in the country, which points to the fact that we've made some significant improvements in terms of our maths and science passes.
If I can maybe reword my question, just does it not concern you that I imagine they don't just interview anybody? So you're saying that these perceptions are of business owners, of business leaders, of decision makers, and this is the perception that they have of the education sector here in South Africa. Does that not concern you? I mean, that is a concern.
I think it concerns us insofar as they make their decisions without considering the facts, and therefore their conclusions are misleading. And we feel that it's not a true reflection of what is really going on in the country. We have made significant improvements. If you look at the TIMS and PEARLS reports, they're showing that we have made improvements. If you look at the matric passes of 2013 and the years before that, they indicate that we're making significant improvements. But also, even if you look at the regional SACMEC reports, which is based on research, which involves our learners, where the learners are tested to see their performance, it indicates that we're making an improvement. So their perceptions, we don't know what they're based on, and we don't know what objective it is that they want to achieve. Well,
I imagine their objectives are to better the maths and science situation here in South Africa. With all due respect, and I do know that our education system, the matric pass rate is improving, but a 33% pass in maths and science is not really going to prepare you for a proper job when it comes to science and maths. Do you agree with that?
No, in this country, if you get that in maths and science, you don't pass at all.
What is a pass rate in maths and science?
You need to, it's 40 and 50%. In fact, if you look at the report that we've made public, if you get that type of percentage in maths and science, you're not going anywhere. You have to either do supplementary or even repeat. So we don't accept that. We go for quality, and the learners that pass every year, you see that they go, I mean, you see distinctions. And you see some of them even going overseas. Some of them are going to the US, others are going to Cuba, others perform very well when you look at the International Maths Olympiad. And all of that is testimony of the work that we are doing to improve the teaching of maths and science and technology in this country.
But I mean, when we come in below Lesotho, Haiti, Chad, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and I think Nigeria are doing pretty well, Kenya, I mean, these are the countries that are above us when it comes to this ranking. I mean, in a way, I'm almost feeling that you think that the people surveyed had an agenda against us.
Yes, we believe they do.
Why would they have an agenda?
We don't know.
Do you not in any way agree that we need to improve our maths and science?
No. Let me tell you that they are not saying anything that we don't know. That's one. And two, after they released a similar report a year or so ago, the minister went on to establish a task team to focus on maths and science and how we can make improvements. The task team made recommendations, and those recommendations are being implemented, and they include the establishment of maths and science institutes across the country. Every province will have a maths and science institute, and which will be run from Pretoria. But also The fact that the International Maths Olympiad is coming to this country for the first time in the history of this country, it's also an indication that the country, the world, they have confidence in the work that we are doing. So we feel that we are implementing a lot of initiatives that are aimed at improving maths and science and technology in this country. If you go around the schools, you'll see that there's science laboratories, there's computer centers. All of these things are aimed at aiding the teaching of maths and science and technology in the school. Yeah.
You know, I'm reading the response from South Africans. That's what I'm looking at right now. And so many people are just saying, one person, Raymond Alexander, saying, of course governments are going to deny that. They're walking with their heads in the sand. Another person is saying, TUS Samketi saying, there's nothing new here about any of the government's entities. They reject the truth, that they know that that's what's best to do. So a lot of people are just saying that we're rejecting things where in reality our education system needs a massive haul-over, and maybe this is a wake-up, because it's not only the maths and science that have come in the last position. The general overall perception of South Africa's education system came in at 146 out of 148 countries. Again, there's a problem, and I do not think it's necessarily just agendas of people interviewed.
No, but having said all the things that you've said, if you remember, if you keep at the back of your mind that this is perception, it's not fact, then you will then understand that even the comments of those people there are misplaced, because it is not research. We're saying that, I can sit here and rank you wherever I want based on my perception. And that's where we have a problem. Test our learners. If you're really serious, test our learners and speak to the educators. Go to the schools, see what is happening, and then compile the report. But don't sit in a room somewhere and make conclusions about our education system without having tested it.
Have you approached the World Economic Forum about the survey?
Well, we do engage them, but they work in the way that they want, and we work in our own way. But we'll continue to engage them because we feel that what they're doing is not fair. And in fact, it's not a true reflection of the work that we are doing to improve maths, science and technology in this country.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for this morning. I do think we should take it a bit further, and perhaps we can invite a representative from the World Economic Forum to come in and talk about who exactly was surveyed and whose perceptions these are when it comes to the state of education here in South Africa. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are agreeing that so much needs to be done in this education system that we find ourselves in South Africa. Elijah Mhlanga, thank you. Thank you for coming in and giving us government's perspective over this particular survey. Elijah is from the Department of Education. All right, the time, 23 minutes past 7 here on Morning Live. Time for a traffic update. Rob Byrne, over to you.